Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the MrWoodenSheep podcast. It's been so long, I've forgotten how to do this. And with me today, we've got Ragewild, the Zen Master, and striking the patient guy. I say this because they've been sitting with me for like an hour here while I fucking bullshit around. But yeah, it's a new year. We got some new games to talk about, and the day has finally come where I'm gonna pre-order a game again. I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna do it. I haven't.
Risky.
Yeah. But when you hear what game it is, I think you'll understand, because soon we're finally getting.
Minesweeper 2?
No, Ricochet 2. No, Half-Life Alyx. I don't know. I mean, none of you guys have VR, so you probably can't be as excited as I am. And also, I don't know what Half-Life fans you guys are.
I love it.
You love Half-Life.
Yeah. Like, I literally been playing Black Mesa, the Half-Life 1
Oops.
remaster.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, is that finally complete?
I don't think so. But
Okay.
I never gotten to the last part anyway, so might as well go forward.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember playing the beta of that a while ago, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah, but Half-Life 2, one of my favorite games of all time, like top 5 for sure.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
And I've been
I
saying,
played for it like 5 times.
yeah, same. And I've gotten all the achievements. I did it on Xbox. I did it on Steam twice because there's like 2 different versions of the game. I fucking love that game. But yeah, Half-Life Alyx, man. I mean, I honestly, part of me is pre-ordering also because I'm afraid that people are just gonna spoil it the minute it comes out, and this franchise is so dear to me. So, but yeah, I'm so excited for this. And also I've been saying for the last few episodes that this is basically, I think, Valve's chance to earn a lot of people's respect that it's lost, because people have always been saying recently, oh, they're dead, they're not making games anymore, they're making fucking card games, they're making crates, whatever.
This is remind me of Artifact. Makes me sad.
But you like that game, right?
I know, that's why it makes me sad.
I really liked Artifact, and I don't even play card games often, but I mean, surely if you play now though, you'll find players, won't you?
You maybe find players that have played the game for ages and have all the cards and all that.
Insta kill you.
I've been looking at that very cynically from the very beginning. It's probably also because I played a lot of Magic the Gathering before.
Yeah, I remember you voiced, like you were saying that you didn't like the payment method of earning new cards and stuff.
It was straight up like, it was just like a normal card game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hard to translate that.
Well, the difference is in... the big difference for me between this and other digital card games was... Other digital card games, you had like a bunch of bullshit currencies as well.
Yeah.
Where you could like melt cards or like destroy cards to get that currency, to at some point get cards you actually want.
Mm-hmm.
And so that like they could sell you that currency, or you had to buy more cards to get more of that currency and stuff like that. But Valve was like, we have a system here, and we can just cut all that bullshit and do it just like a regular trading card game. So that they will just sell you booster packs.
Like a physical one, you mean? Because they were trying to replicate like physical, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, you can buy booster packs like with every other digital one, but then you had like your big market, with the marketplace, and then you can sell it for hard cash basically. But they will also profit from that as well, so they're profiting double. You have to buy the game, you have to buy the packs, and they will profit whenever you sell or buy cards.
I saw some people defending that the system could only be done this way. I don't know enough about card games, so I can't really give my piece on it.
I understand their points, because that's how TCGs have been working for years.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is a cash grab, and it smells and feels like a cash grab.
Honestly, the main issue to me was... Sorry, Striking. Just the main issue for me was I felt like there was no progression. Whether it was to earn new cards or not, like you played it and it was very stagnant. Nothing really changed ever. And now they implemented something where you could, but it was kind of too late.
It's too late.
Yeah, Striking, sorry.
No, I'm just saying, I feel like it's I agree that there's like the cash grab methods, but the game, like the gameplay, it never felt like cash grab.
It was so fun. The
amazing.
game was really fun, really fun.
For me, once again, as someone who played Magic the Gathering, I could see Richard Garfield's like hands all over that game.
I mean, it's not a bad thing, right? That's
No. Yeah. He can make some amazing game systems, but you feel it. Whenever I started reading the rules, I saw how much influence came from Richard Garfield and from Magic the Gathering in that sense. Even though like the system is way different, you can still feel it.
Yeah, it actually kind of reminds me like I think one other, I don't know. Yeah, we talked about Plants vs Zombies Battle for Neighborville. I felt this recently, like Artifact kind of the player base died because it seemed like the devs didn't take much action or made a few release mistakes. And I felt that with the new PvZ game and even more recently Halo Reach on PC. Have you guys seen how much the player base has dropped since it released?
I can imagine.
Really a lot. And I mean, Halo Reach is still great, but there's some fundamental issues. I don't think it's been like 3 months since the last podcast, so we haven't actually talked since it released. Like, I had a blast. I loved playing it again, but there's really some fundamental issues that come into it when you transfer the game to PC, and one of them being this this long-range DMR. On console, I mean, you can't aim anywhere near as fast. So a lot of on PC, all the matches devolve into these DMR fights across the map, and it really ruins the flow of what Halo normally is.
Yeah.
And a lot of people complain about it, and pretty much any friend that came and played with us, like you, Rage, you also had that issue where it's like you spawn and you die, and you can adjust to it eventually, but it's not the real Halo formula. And there were other issues, like if you get shot when you're zooming in, you get zoomed out. No other shooter on PC has that at the moment, and it's a problem that you didn't really feel on Xbox because that didn't really happen with these DMRs. And
you cannot crouch.
Yeah, you can't crouch while walking. You have to stop and then crouch. And they said they're gonna fix it, but I mean, it hasn't been fixed. The game has been out for 2 months.
Well,
I mean,
many people also. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's just I really 343 dropped the ball so hard. If they just patched, I mean, I get it. It released around holiday season, but like
no excuse.
I mean, a lot of devs crunch for holiday season, but even without that, afterwards, I mean, it's been 2 months now since holidays ended. You gotta add crouching or rebinding chat. Why is chat on J and voice chat is bound to V and you can't unbind those? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, there's some things there that should have been fixed very fast. Like, I mean, Monster Hunter Iceborne also just came out, and glitches pop up, and they fixed them in a day. I mean,
also like that's not great. They can't have that. Can't make a game come out like that and then have 3 months of almost no support.
Yeah, the player base really has died down because also, sorry, just to add one last thing, Halo has always been about choice. When you search in multiplayer, you always, in every single game that I can remember, had like, hey, vote for the next map in game mode. And people would vote for the ones that worked and that were fun, and Bungie understood that. And now with this re-release, 343 has removed that choice. So you're always getting DMR-only starting maps, so you're these long-range battles. And you also just get these shitty maps that 343 added to Halo Reach after its initial release. And you can actually really, like, I never played these ones before, and you really see the difference in design choices. Like, Bungie had way better map making in my opinion, and yeah, I just wish they would like just speed up a little bit on some of the smaller fixes to just bring the game back to life. It really fucking died down. I hope it comes back though with Halo 3 and Halo 2 and Halo 1. That's what people are really waiting for, I think. So
I also think many people argued, I guess because of the DMR stuff, that Halo Reach multiplayer is the weakest or one of the more weak of the whole bunch from the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah. Because if I remember correctly, the DMR was more prominent in this game than the battle rifles in the other games. But still, I don't think there were so many game modes that started you with the DMR like they are currently on the Master Chief Collection version of Halo Reach. I'm pretty sure 343 tweaked stuff and whatever. And I mean, to their credit, they are trying to fix the stuff. They've addressed it, but they only do one update per month. Like I
assume that's an issue because they just have staff shortage. Because
maybe
they have to get out the
that's
other
very
games.
possible. They're getting the other
That's
games.
probably more important right now.
Yeah, and they're working on the Xbox versions too. I understand. But I really hope, and I know that the Master Chief Collection was really messy on Xbox when it came out a few years ago, and apparently
really bad.
yeah,
really
yeah.
bad.
So I'm gonna hope that it recovers just like that did. But yeah, I mean the game
hoping.
itself, I'm having a lot of fun, but yeah, that sucks. But yeah, back to Alex. It's finally happening, dude. Like I remember we were arguing on the podcast if another Half-Life game would ever come out, and I think I was. I mean, I don't know, Rage. Did you ever believe it? I think you said no, right?
To me, it's still.
It
VR
doesn't
game
count
aside, it is not a continuation. So
because it's a prequel. I agree. I mean, please give us a completion to this story at some point. But I'm not sure if I already voiced this, so sorry if I'm repeating. But I think after so many years of stagnation, nothing with the franchise, I think it would be kind of bad to come back straight off the cliffhanger, like boom, here we go again. I think this is a good way to dip our toe into the universe again, and then if this does well, next game give us the sequel.
Yeah, but that's an issue Valve made themselves.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying, I think they did the best they could now. I mean, okay, we say Valve made the issue, but to be fair to them, I'm glad that they didn't release a game that they didn't think was working, because
Valve always have been
it
perfection.
would be like excusable, but not on such a cliffhanger. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
To have a different like.
The issue was that they released the game in episodes. That was the issue.
Yeah, but they could have had an existential crisis after they finished off.
No,
fucking cliffhanger.
Yeah,
so.
that's.
Yeah.
Oh my man. I mean, fuck. Half-Life is. I watched a video recently it was a funny video of some kid reacting to the game, to the ending of that game. I don't know if you guys have seen it. And
it's very sad.
He was like, I wonder what's gonna happen next. And the dad's just like, we'll never know. They never made another game. But man, I mean, even though that was meant to be a funny video, just hearing the acting in the background of that game made me fucking cry. Like that's such a powerful moment, and they leave us on that for over 10 years.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. But yeah.
That's the issue of Valve, perfectionism. It's like a strength and weakness.
Yeah.
Like they want to make games that define.
I mean, they have some like they were really messy during the development for the first one and the second one.
Yes, well, I don't know too much about that, but what I could say, the finished product was genre defining both of them.
Yeah. But you cannot dismiss this shit they did.
No, but they make fucking masterpieces, man. I mean, Portal, I think, is the most widely agreed upon best game of all time when I talk with people.
Portal?
Yeah. I mean,
It's
there's
pretty good. I mean,
I love Portal. It's not my favorite game, but I think it is one of the greatest games of all time, and a lot of non-gamers agree with that. A lot of hardcore gamers agree with that. It's just,
I mean,
so good.
So just actually to follow your point on that, because as you said, non-gamers, it's like there's a reason that the Cake is a Lie XD became so fucking popular, because Portal became so fucking popular.
Yeah.
Well, also that's one of the reasons why the people got so furious with the Valve just stopping, because they had the streak. They brought one killer game after another.
Yeah.
And then they were like, nah, we will stop.
Yeah.
That's because they had, it was a stroke of genius to get the developers for Portal. Like, they bought a whole bunch of people, brought into the Valve, and then they made Portal.
I mean, they could have really easily milked this, and I'm happy they didn't. This way it does stay special.
And not milk, but it could have gone further.
Yeah.
I'm decided to stop.
I'm just happy that they really do respect their IPs. This made so much money. They could have very easily just. I mean, it's all the fundamentals are there. They just need to write a few more funny jokes, get puzzles, and they can sell a million games. You know.
To be honest, they milked it in a completely different way.
How?
How so?
Well, off the back of Half-Life 2, because that was the very first game that featured it, came Steam.
Yeah.
And it was a piece of shit. It was horrible.
I heard Steam was really bad.
It was a horrible online DMR service. That's what basically it was. It was nothing else. I remember I bought Half-Life 2 on launch back then.
But how's that milking Portal? You said.
No, milking all these games. Not milking, but they focused on like not exploiting, but using those games to push
Sell Steam.
forward.
Sure, yeah.
Which was a very smart decision. I'm not saying they're exploited or anything.
Yeah,
They
right.
played it smart, but that is also the reason why they didn't make games, because they focused on Steam.
Yeah. I'm talking about
Makes sense
a
because they
different
made billions of dollars, but
I'm just
yeah.
saying I'm happy that they didn't ruin the specialness of Portal and Half-Life or whatever by just like shitting them out the door, you know?
yeah.
Because I really think Portal is a super... It could have been a very recyclable game. I mean, you see they opened up the
Yeah,
workshop.
definitely.
There's hundreds of thousands of custom levels that Valve could have just made and pooped out. But I would like one a little
Well,
bit
yeah,
more
but
recently
there's
than
also-
2011. But, you know, yeah.
There's also no, like, they went from 100 to a 0.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what got
Well-
many people upset, and they could have handled it differently.
Here's hopefully we're gonna actually start. I mean, I'm praying with all my heart that Half-Life Alyx will blow me away, like full-fledged VR game, Half-Life universe again, even if it's a prequel. Like I want to play a new Valve game, and I hope it's fucking good, because if not, that's gonna be really disappointing to a lot of people. Like this is their chance, kind of.
Well, yeah, as I said before, they have a big investment in this as well, because they now are a platform holder, basically.
Yeah, they're trying to sell. I mean,
So
they already
want
sold.
to push that hardware as well, otherwise they will lose a lot of money. They can afford it, but still.
Yeah. Speaking of franchises that are milked, I played the Modern Warfare reboot finally.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuss. Now that I've played it, I don't really see the controversy over the campaign. Can you remind me what it was? Was it just?
Oh, it was Russians.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, okay, I talked about this before.
Yeah.
Basically, and I feel like I'm, you know me, I'm not
Uh-huh.
offended by video games.
No.
At all. Usually, I don't care about
Yeah.
that shit. But even I felt really uncomfortable because they said like, this is the most moral gray game you have ever seen.
Did they say
blah,
that
blah,
though?
blah.
If they actually said
Yes,
that, then
they actually advertised with that.
Okay.
yes, they did.
Okay.
And then
Well then,
it's
yeah. then yeah.
Then they portrayed the Russian like soldiers, which are basically also normal people.
Yeah, they're not
as
like
the
a
most
specific.
horrible, abhorrent people that can do the worst war
Yeah.
crimes ever and just be like, yeah, we did that, we don't care. It's
Yeah.
like incredibly offensive if you're Russian.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, it kind of the same situation you could say for German soldiers. That
Yeah.
easy as justifiable
Yeah.
because
I-
history.
I've said this before, like every Call of Duty campaign I've been the bad guy because I'm half Russian, half Lebanese. So I always grew up like seeing Arabs as terrorists and then Russians as terrorists. And now but here's the difference though. I
They're
think
not even terrorists, that's the point.
well
They're
yeah.
supposed to be like
Yeah,
Russian
yeah.
soldiers.
They're not even like a small yeah, it's literally the Russian army. They're not like a small I mean
They're
you have what's his name? Nikolai. He helps you deal with the bad guy. He's like, yeah, no, these guys are bad for the country or whatever. So technically, it's not all of the Russian army. You know, they are saying that it's like a small collection.
They are supposed to be regular soldiers, which are like normal people.
It's
they're not radicalists or something. They're not terrorists.
Yeah,
And they're still like portrayed in such a way. it
yeah.
can be gray.
I agree. But I think the reason they were saying it's gray now is because for the first time ever, the Arabs aren't the bad guys necessarily. I think,
Yeah.
and so they're Americans, and they're just like, oh, you know, because nowadays finally America has woken up, and not all fucking Arabs are terrorists. So they're like, oh yeah, there's some good ones, but the Russians are still white, so you know, they can still be bad. It's fine. We still need some bad guys that aren't
I
American.
mean, I think it's less about Russians being white, but more about Americans and Russians. Because there's the whole like Cold War thing, and so it's easy acceptable for them.
Sure, what I'm saying is, yeah, America has finally realized, like, oh, you know, not all Arabs are bad guys, but they don't really think the same about Russia. I guess, yeah, sure, in modern times, Russia is still a bad guy to them, to some of them.
I mean, in our time right now, politically, yes.
Yeah,
of
that's
course,
what I'm
more
saying.
than ever.
But just,
still.
I would just change the bad guys for one game, you know? Like, I
No,
mean,
just actually make it more gray. Like, you still always feel, because it is like a prequel to the Modern Warfare stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you are a good guy. and you also see that, and at the end there's the big hero sacrifice, and you are the best ever. You don't actually do morally gray shit.
No, you do. Don't you? You do.
They
You
don't
do.
with that one scene, but they don't even actually give you
yeah.
the possibility to be like really gray moral. It's like
Yeah.
bald as hell.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if should we like avoid spoilers. I mean, you kind of just gave up, but whatever.
It just actually they don't have the balls to make such a statement because it would be political, and you cannot avoid being not political. Or you can be like Ubisoft and say, "Oh, we made a game where American government is fallen, but it's not political, guys."
One thing that would have really fixed it is if you heard like if sometimes the Russians were doing fucked up shit, and if you heard some of the soldiers going like, "Man, this is fucked up. Why are we doing this?" You know, like something to humanize them a little bit.
Yeah, but they do not.
But like, there's a scene where you play as a little girl, and there's just this Russian soldier who's fucking aggroed on steroids, and he just wants to kill you like you're an evil creature. It's like, what? I mean, would any human be doing this? I don't know.
But Call of Duty always did that, like dehumanizing their foes. Otherwise, the game would be
Remember,
more
no Russian.
12-year-old would play it, and then there might be a lawsuit or something.
Remember that whole scene that like it actually was skippable in Germany because it was so fucked up, where you were like.
It wasn't skippable.
It was.
Not shoot.
It was.
You just couldn't shoot the civilian.
No. Later.
I remember getting the option, and like I was.
Yeah. Every campaign since then, they were like, this is sensitive material, whatever, and you like pretty much every campaign I think had a skippable mission if you clicked no on that you don't want to see sensitive material, and that was one of them. You would skip it. I'm 90% sure.
Oh yeah, I remember. But,
I know for sure. Yeah.
I don't know. It's not like diminishing the game or anything, but it feels like playing it safe, and that's a bit disappointing because it stays behind its potential.
Yeah, it's a shame. They should finally get like show the true enemy, like fight an enemy group from the Cyprus, something like that. You know.
You mean Cyprus? Yeah.
I think that would finally enrich the experience.
What I did really like, I mean, I loved it, by the way. I thought it was an awesome campaign. It was really nice to finally see a good Arab. That really made me happy. I'm not joking. Like,
good Arab.
It was just like, yeah, man. I mean, what the fuck is? Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it just sounds so beautiful.
I mean, it's true, man. Like, you're playing all these Call of Duty games. It's like, oh no, America, and then like, yeah, let's fucking bomb everyone else. Like, whatever. And I know it's Call of Duty, and I still enjoyed all those campaigns, but it was a nice change. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think though, not Infinity Ward game. Call of Duty games already did that. They were just not Infinity Ward.
I mean, Modern Warfare 2 kind of does that. Like, you have an American Shepherd.
That's patriotic as fuck. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but there is a bad American, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that was so fucking well done, by the way. I was really mad at him.
That was really fucking well. Oh, that's such a good campaign. Oh, there's some moments in that campaign, dude. But
the Modern Warfare trilogy is good.
I love that. Yeah, and I really like this one as well.
And that's why everyone who worked on it is now in Respawn Entertainment doing amazing games.
Oh, really? Are they?
I want a new
at least like the most people or many people.
I missed Price's old voice though. I noticed it immediately.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I really liked the campaign. I liked that there were small segments of gameplay that like were a bit different. I don't know. I thought it was really interesting, and I mean, I can't now. I played it like a few weeks ago, so I don't remember exactly. Like, I really liked that when you were playing characters, there were scenes where you play as characters that aren't soldiers, and the reload time is slower, and their like hands are shaky and stuff. I really like details like that. It did feel more gritty and real and scary. Like like some of the scenes were really disturbing. But I thought it was really great overall. But yeah, if they were advertising it as like, this is the most great shit you'll see, then that was silly, for sure. Yeah. Spec Ops probably is the only military game that has done something like that, I think, well. Or
Spec Ops. To be honest, even in the franchise, I think the Black Ops series was good as well.
Yeah,
I haven't played Black Ops. I don't.
Especially Black Ops 3. Wait, you never played Call of Duty?
No,
Black
I
Ops?
want to.
One,
No,
like one has an amazing story.
I'm sure, yeah.
Two continues that like somewhat loosely, but
Mm.
it's still interesting. And three gets
But yeah,
really messed up.
I'll tell you why I never
Yeah,
played Black
fucked
Ops, because Activision doesn't put their 10-year-old games on sale past 15 euros, and I just don't have that money right now.
That's
Right.
true. No, I
You know,
remember playing 3. I don't know, Striking, did you play Black Ops 3 campaign?
I think I did. I think that was the one with the where you have like multiple choices, kind of.
That was the second one. In the
Oh, yeah.
third one, it gets some mindfuckery at the end.
Alright, that's...
Actual mindfuck.
good.
You're like, what the fuck?
You know, if you want to talk mindfuckery, just talk about the entire zombie mode of Black Ops.
Well, yeah, that's true, but like the normal campaign, like I remember Black
What?
Ops 3 was really mind-boggling at some point because it was so fucking weird.
That sounds interesting to me.
And like no one, like the big major media outlets didn't pick up on it because everyone dismisses the fucking campaigns as bullshit anyway. Because it's all about the multiplayer, which I find is a shame.
Yeah,
Do you-
Because even though they are like 4 to 6 hours, the Call of Duty campaigns are usually good.
ish.
I pretty much... I mean, I used to just buy COD games for the campaigns, exclusively.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the guns feel so good in this new one.
So much better. Like they
So
improved a
good.
lot.
I mean, really, some of the
Yeah.
best gunplay. Really satisfying. But did you play Ghosts? Call of Duty Ghosts?
No.
Yes.
Do you remember, like, instead of Nazi zombies mode, it's aliens? Like,
Yeah,
what?
it was fun actually.
I
I remember we played the first episode completely through. But, I do
man.
not remember who.
Right, yeah, there was no one playing by the time I picked it up.
Yeah, before we go, like to a different topic,
Yeah.
can we talk about the size of the fucking game?
Yeah. It
Which
just...
is bullshit.
Yeah.
How big is
I
it?
think we've already talked about it. It's like 150 gigs? 60?
160.
Oh yeah, it's
something.
fucking bigger than the Final Fantasy I have on Steam, which
Is
I
it?
thought was pretty absurd.
Which
one is that
Which
again?
one is it?
Final Fantasy, the 15.
Damn. At some point, Siege
That-
was the biggest game, and they toned it down.
Yeah, Siege with HD packs.
Yeah.
Was the biggest game.
Even without, it was like over 100, and then they changed it, and now it's like 70 gigs. Yeah, COD is 160, and now it just updated, and you have to download another 60 gigs. I mean,
What the fuck?
yeah, and I was talking to Tommy, and he said that the last update for the game, and he sent me the patch notes. Literally, all it added, the only new content other than bug fixes, the only new content it added was a crossbow weapon, and you still have to download 60 gigs to patch the game. I mean, what the fuck?
And it also impacts performance at this point because you have to have an SSD. It will not work otherwise. At least not properly. You will not have fun with that game.
It's so bad, man. I hate it.
It's incredible. I mean, sure, at some point, like around Ghosts, the trend started to make the game bigger because then the sound lines and everything does not have to be like compressed, so the CPU strain decreases, and then they can get more out of the consoles. But Jesus Christ, find a fucking balance, please. 160 gigabytes.
I've never seen...
You're doing something wrong if you have that. much.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's not thick. That's morbidly obese.
Yeah. Speaking of
Oh no.
not
Speaking of morbidly obese,
speaking of obesity, I played Fat Simulator. No. I have no idea why, but I had the urge to go and finish Far Cry 4. Finally. I was
Speaking of morbidly obese, I finished Far Cry 4.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, speaking of like shooters that are milked
Did you
or whatever.
enjoy it?
Yeah,
Did you enjoy the villain?
I was on the last 2 missions apparently when I got bored and stopped last time. First of all,
Can't
Striking,
believe
have you
this.
beaten it?
I haven't, but I have watched most of the endings.
Do you-
and all of that.
Okay, so you don't care about spoilers.
Yes.
I'm not
I heard
even-
that, like, there's all sides of kind of are messed up. There's like one side with child soldiers, I believe.
I'm not even gonna give spoilers. All I wanted to say was I beat it, and I think I realized why I didn't like this game as much as Far Cry 3. I mean, I said this before, it's good, but it was like the same exact shit as Far Cry 3.
Yes.
I guess I wasn't whatever.
Even fucking Far Cry Primal was the same as Far Cry 3.
Well,
Yeah.
that was even more.
Yeah, but
like
that's
because it
at
was
least
the same map as 4.
that's bow. Yeah, but forgetting, I don't really care that much about that. But at least you have spears and you ride creatures and stuff. That's different, you know. I mean, I agree that it's a bit weird that they would like just copy paste the layout of Far Cry 4, but I don't think that's as big of a deal as people are saying.
It's just lazy.
It should have been maybe like half price for something like that. I don't know. But yeah, Far Cry 4. I didn't give a fuck about any of the good guys. Like,
oh, you never do in a Far Cry game.
true.
In any.
True,
Far Cry.
but
Aren't they supposed to be
Except
Far
two,
Cry 4
except
not really
Sure.
any good guys?
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. I guess Far Cry is trying to go for like an ambiguous thing, but I guess what I should be saying is my character would have, like, if I had the choice, I would have never sided with them anyway. Like, from the beginning they sounded insane, and the bad guy sounded fine. You know, I would have sided with him if I had the chance, like, legitimately.
Fun fact to that. Do you know that there's actually
do you know
an ending
this
where you
hidden
can?
ending?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Like, if you
the secret ending, yeah. Just at the beginning of the game when he's like, "Hey, can you wait here at the table? If you don't try escape, he just comes back and you beat the game and he's your friend." Like, yeah, and that just goes to show. I mean, really, I don't know. It was like the least motivated or least connected I was to my character I think I've ever played. Like, I would never
but
make
you
this
gotta
choice.
bury your mother.
Yeah, sure. But
So
you
you
don't
gotta
need to...
murder 50 million people. To
I mean,
your
at
mother.
least Far Cry 3 didn't have like the strongest protagonist either, but I felt more motivated because you were just like trying to save your friends, you know? Like,
Oh
that's...
no, in Far Cry 3 you were a douchebag.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
Your character was a
but
douchebag.
my
at
motivation would
least
have
he
been
had
more
a,
real.
like,
I would potentially in a real life situation try to save my friends. That's what he was working towards, if I remember correctly. But in Far Cry 4, it's like, hey, you want to join us and blow up this statue? It's like, not really, but I guess I have to.
You know, saying about that, Far Cry 5, something I hated about it is the silent protagonist.
Oh, he's silent?
Okay. Yeah, it's like he never said like Far Cry 5 is now the one I think of, that's the one in America, right?
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, he's so fucking silent. He never says a single word. Everyone talks to you, but you can't.
I hate that. That was something. That was
so
something
much.
so nice about Far Cry. For once, a first-person shooter series, your character talked, and now they remove it. You're telling me?
Oh yeah, don't worry. Because of that, you can also be a female character. That's silent.
They just they can
speaking
afford to
now
pay two people.
Now
Speaking of
everyone just
Half-Life
calls
2
you the
influence,
rookie.
Sorry, striking what?
And just saying, everyone just calls you rookie.
Oh, that's
Hey, rookie, it's you. Come get over here.
I mean, in Shepard, in Mass Effect, they managed to voice an entire RPG with two female and male. Like, you can do it for fucking Far Cry.
Yes.
Whatever. Yeah, sorry, what, Rage?
Yes, as I said, speaking of Half-Life 2 influence,
Yeah.
silent fucking protagonist.
So, do you think in Half-Life Alyx, I mean, she must voice act, right? Yeah, go on.
Before we continue, sorry. What ending did you get? The very first one in Far Cry 4. What did you go for?
I didn't kill. I got. Okay, so we're going. Spoiler alert. Far Cry 4. I just sat down with him and I didn't shoot him. I saw no reason to. And
So you basically got the ending where he like leaves.
yeah, you put your,
And you just do it the thing you could have done. If
you
just
put
sat
your
at the
mother's
table.
ashes down and he just flies away and it gives you an RPG and I'm like, no, why would I do this? And then that's it. The game like wanted me to kill him all the time. Like, I don't know, man. It made no sense to me. I really didn't like that.
Have you played 2?
Yeah, I loved to. Yeah, I don't remember the story though, but I remember I loved it.
That's where like the charismatic protagonist shit
Started. Yeah, I know that
because
for sure.
at the end you can decide to like side with the villain.
Yeah.
Actually side with the villain and then fuck everyone else over because his reasoning is everyone in that country is a piece of shit, including yourself and me. And then he's like, I will blow myself up, but then you will like kill everyone else and kill yourself.
Nice.
And that's exactly yeah.
But
And that's exactly what happens. You kill yourself as well because you're also a piece of shit.
all right, I don't remember that. That sounds
This
interesting.
entire city must be purged.
Yeah, and what I remember, like, I should replay that. Far Cry 2, even though it didn't age that
I
well.
liked the rusting guns and the malaria
And
to
the
deal
cars
with,
and the
yeah.
malaria stuff. Yeah, that's all amazing.
Yeah.
The like burning stuff, like the fire mechanic was great.
That carried over though, kind of, to 3
yeah.
at least.
Yeah, but what also is amazing, First of all, you had no fast travel. You only had
Uh,
fixed like bus stops you could travel to.
yeah, that doesn't
But
sound.
everything else you had to walk.
I don't need that back. I don't need to do that.
To be honest,
I mean,
it
it's
added
nice
something
for
to
like
the game.
it's like for one of those immersive modes, but I don't think it's good for like a
I should
giant
have the
open world
choice.
to not
I
The
should have the
issue
choice.
is it takes away from the like environment.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I agree
just-
with that.
just-
There's definitely some games where I feel that, where it's like, you know, Elder Scrolls Fallout, you're like teleporting and you never. But then again, Elder Scrolls and Fallout, there's nothing interesting in between. Like Breath of the Wild, you actually have fun walking to a destination. So it needs to be done well. Far Cry, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
And remember the second one as well. The companions were done way.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Without any like for me at least my experiences without any scripting or anything, like they were never actively with you, but whenever you get downed
Mm-hmm.
for the first time, they will appear and save your fucking
Yeah, and
ass.
just from that, just from
and
them
then
saving.
they will fight with you.
Yeah.
And then they will get down.
Yeah.
And then you can try to save them, otherwise they will just permanently die.
Not only that, but if I remember correctly, if you didn't have syringes to save them, you could shoot them out of their misery.
Yeah, if you don't have syringes or they get down
Yeah.
too many times, you can just yeah,
I
just
love-
take a gun to their head and fire.
I love when games, when you get attached to like random NPCs like that. Like, yeah.
And in addition to that, like in after the first half of the game, after the first map ends and you transition to the second, you can choose like to stay or like stay and fight or flee.
Mm-hmm.
And if you flee, your current companions all disappear.
All right.
And you get new ones. But right at the end of the game, where you have to stop everyone from leaving and kill everyone, like to stop all the bullshit they're doing, they appear and try to kill you because they want to leave with the money and the diamonds.
Damn.
And then you have to kill all of them.
Damn, I don't remember that. That's cool.
And then, like, I don't know if it was intended or not, they could also get downed. And one of them got downed. And you could also, like, go to them and you had the option to, like, help them, but you had only the option to shoot them in the head.
Yeah, you're like, fuck you, man. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I really like that. But, like, yeah, I mean, obviously in games like XCOM as well, you've got your permadeath and you get attached to a soldier, they die, and then you save scum and load like I do, so you don't lose them. Yeah, actually, I started playing War of the Chosen. Have you guys played that?
Chosen.
XCOM 2 War of the Chosen. It's an expansion.
No.
I played a bit of it, but not too much. But yeah, it seems like an amazing.
It really adds so much to the game. I mean, yeah, okay, we don't need to talk about it. Whatever. It's more XCOM, but I highly recommend it if you feel like playing more XCOM again.
You know,
Yeah.
a game that also I wanted to mention
Yeah.
because it's coming out in early access in 2 weeks is Curse of the Dead Gods. If that name
Curse
rings any
of-
bell.
It doesn't, and that's
it on
why
Steam?
I like talking to you about game striking. You always tell me
it on
about. Oh yeah, it's on Steam. I found it here.
Yeah. What if you're just a greedy asshole who goes through a whole roguelike dungeon in order to get all the monies and gets corrupted along the way?
Okay. I would like to see some
Basically,
gameplay
yeah,
trailer.
there should be some on the trailer.
So, I think I've heard. Is it kind of Diablo-like? A little bit.
I mean, it's like kind of like a top-down.
It looks like a hack and slash.
Yeah, it's a hack and
Yeah,
slash,
yeah.
with like a hack and slash RPG with like not roguelike with Slay the Spire like room system.
Okay,
have,
so
like,
it is a
different paths to go
roguelike. Okay, that looks pretty. That looks pretty cool.
And in the bottom right, if you see any gameplay, you should see that there is at some point there is a madness curse mechanic, which basically is if that gets full, for each one it's full, you gain a different, unique, I guess curse you could say, or madness. For instance, maybe if you get hit, everything goes like in like the old video style with no sound, mono. Or maybe you have hallucinations.
I love stuff like that. I love having to deal with a new problem in games, like we just said, Far Cry 2, like the rusty guns. I love that shit. And if a game ever gives me the opportunity to upgrade to negate something like that, I'll never take it. Never.
Yeah, the best part is you can also, they use it both as like something that just comes over time, but also you can like when you buy items, you can choose to either pay with money or pay with your blood, which enhances like the madness and pushes you further forward.
Mm.
So you can like it's constantly about trying to manage your own greed, get to the end, but and don't die, but also gain everything you want.
That looks fun, and it's Focus Home.
Yeah, and
They've
fun
been
is also
publishing
there's
some
like
good stuff.
something I found interesting is not only it has like Dark Souls like parry and all that, it also has like a light mechanic with a torch, which you can use to light things around it as well.
Yeah, I saw. That's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna add that to my wish list. That looks cool. Actually, I want to talk to you guys about a new game I played. I think I know. I think you'd both be interested in it. It's called Scourgebringer. Actually, here, let me just. I did a video on it recently. So it's a game where you how do I even describe it? So the way I opened my preview video was that it's, you know, like in spectacle fighter games, Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, whatever, you're basically always in the air. That's what this game is. But it's a roguelite 2D. I mean, look at the footage, you'll see. But basically the game is, you've got your like basic attack. You can just attack and just stay in the air like that. But you can also dash, and you can do this infinitely. So when you enter a new room, you've got like 10 enemies on you. You can just dash around the sky and like kill all of them in one swift combo. It's so fast paced, and it's all about reactionary actions. So if an enemy shoots a projectile, you can actually deflect it back. If you see that they're about to hit you, you can do a heavy attack to stun them. You dodge bullets and stuff. I don't know. It's so fast paced and really hard, but I don't know. It's so fun. And you basically, after you finish the run, you can go back to your tree in the main hub world and upgrade that tree and gain permanent upgrades, which give you new abilities like stomping on the ground or maintaining a higher combo, so you get more money and you can spend that in shops and stuff. I don't know. I'm loving the game so far. I felt like maybe this is something that you guys would be into as well.
I remember watching the video of yours, and it definitely looked very interesting. I was
Thanks,
still
man.
going to try. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to give it a try at some point.
Yeah, I really
It's
like
just
it.
so many good games. It's always.
I know,
destroying
I know, dude. Oh, I have so many other games, like old games, new games.
Oh, talk about old games. One game I now kind of getting back into is Shadow Warrior 2. If you ever played that.
Oh yeah, I played Shadow Warrior 1 and I really liked
I
it.
started Shadow Warrior 2 and was like, meh.
Did you like
I
the
don't
first
know
one
why.
though?
Yes, I enjoyed it.
It's very different to the first one.
Oh,
Well,
really?
it turned from like like one of the you could say like it turned from Doom into Diablo.
Oh, really?
Oh, not that big of.
I mean,
that
it's
big
still
of-
the same perspective. Yeah, because the
Yeah,
first
it's
one.
Same genre, yeah.
No, it became from a game where you unlock get guns, items, and upgrades for the guns. It turned into like get like a shit ton of different upgrades for items, elemental bonuses that you can apply to your guns and all that.
So more like
with a different upgrade
Borderlands, I
system.
guess, because it at least
Yeah.
gives the same
A
perspective.
shooter looter in the
Shooter
end.
looter. Okay.
Yes.
The issue is that was where the rise of it was.
I don't think. Yeah, that sounds like a change I wouldn't like either, honestly.
Yeah.
I kind of thought the same thing first, but it just so well done still. And it didn't feel like the way they did it isn't just that you find new weapons, but rather upgrades for weapons. So it never feels like your weapons just become less powerful, but
Right.
instead just have different things for the weapons.
Mm.
And combine that with the quirks of Mr. Wang himself.
Yeah, Mr.
Can't
Wang
stop.
is good.
Yes. he
I
can't
maybe
stop
grew
being
out
shithead.
of his humor as well. And
I mean,
I just couldn't.
yeah, but you need to. Of course, it's not always funny. You need to be in the right mindset for it. You know.
Yeah, you need to accept that he's a shithead.
Exactly. You need to know, like, I'm gonna play a game with 12-year-old humor. All right, now I'm ready. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to pick that up at some point. That's.
Yeah, it does actually have a multiplayer as well, the second one.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. Actually, I just remembered another thing that I was thinking of because we were speaking of NPCs that you get attached to. Did any of you play Shadow of War or Mordor?
Yep.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You know what I'm gonna say, Striking? I mean, like you get attached to the orcs, and they're your enemies, and I just love the stories that game builds, and it's again all just scripting, and there's no set guys that you're meant to talk to, and just depending on how you kill them, or they might have a blood brother, or maybe they kill you and they come back and they taunt you. I love that shit, man. Like there was one guy who killed me 3-4 times, and he would taunt me every time, and I think I ended up like decapitating him. And I think he came back from the dead after that as well. Just that game was. I love that stuff. Yeah, that was so cool.
I saw like
awesome.
footage from the second one.
Yeah.
Where you could like kill an orc over and over, like not instead of killing, humiliate the orc over and over again.
Yeah. You can like let them
like
go.
lose levels all the time.
Yeah.
And at some point, they will just be humiliated so much that they basically break.
Yeah.
And instead of normal dialogue, you get like moans and shit.
Yeah. I got a guy. He was like some bard, and he also broke at some point in the mine, and he started saying nonsense but music related. Oh, and I just remembered the story that I just said of the guy that kept killing me. He didn't keep killing me. He kept humiliating me. Like he would defeat me and then leave me to just be sad about my existence. Yeah, that was really fun.
Too bad. Like for me, the game came at a bad timing.
Yeah, maybe you can
So
pick
a
it up at
second
some
You can pick
point.
it up now. Yeah, I played in the last year, I think. So
I'm not sure if I'm not still sick and tired of open world games. I remember starting Dragon Age Origins, which everyone said is amazing,
yeah,
and I found it very shitty.
I'm sick of open world. I'm the sickest of open world, but I didn't think like Shadow of War. I just kept going for the main stuff whenever I was bored. Like it was very fast and easy to do.
Oh, I like games. I can't say that I'm sick of open world yet.
I'm pretty sick of open world, man. I'm pretty sick of it.
Understandable. Actually, talk about weird things that things that games get you into. Remember how I said Minesweeper 2 at the start of a gag?
Yeah.
Let me introduce you to a game called Demon Crawl on Steam.
Oh, I've seen the name. Let me see if.
Is that Minesweeper?
Somebody thought, what if I made Minesweeper into a roguelike?
Yeah.
And it's fucking glorious.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. I mean, I can see that they're. I assume they add a few more mechanics. I can see like.
Of course.
It seemed like they froze a column.
There's like there's a shit ton of items with different effects, curse items, good items, magic items that you need to recharge by opening cells, passive items, all that different kind of stuff. It's just solid Minesweeper together with like the issue in Minesweeper is often after all sometimes you just have to guess and then you get unlucky and everything's over. How about change that?
I mean that's roguelikes in general though. There's
no,
always
but what I'm saying is like
you're saying you got rid of it here.
No, they didn't. But I'm saying like because of the items you can get around that.
Right. Yeah. I understand. Yeah, I mean it looks really cool, but I'm not necessarily wanting to play Minesweeper. So
yeah.
But it does look like something very cool, like a next step, an evolution for someone who does enjoy playing Minesweeper.
I didn't know I was.
Well, there you go. Pick it up, man. Demon
man,
Crawl.
it's awesome. It even has like a huge progression system with like levels ups and new
I don't know if I want huge progression systems.
No, it's just not just cosmetic progression. Nothing. Just numbers go up, and then also, well, it's a roguelike. There's a lot of progression in it. Can't get around that.
I played an interesting game recently. Have you guys heard of Disintegration?
No.
So
maybe?
I just
Is it a game about disintegration?
There's a little bit of that, yeah. Just in case anyone's
remember you showing that to me.
Yeah, in case anyone's interested, I now do. I'm partnered with another channel called Game Watcher on YouTube, and I occasionally do videos for them, just like some previews, and that's where I did a video of this game, Disintegration. I thought it was really interesting. I'm looking forward to the full release. If you look at some gameplay, basically all of you. I'm trying to think of a quick way to give you. Just think of like a hero shooter, except you're always in a hovering bike, and all of you have 2 or 3 minions that are under you that you can give quick actions to, like, hey, go attack this guy or go pick up this flag, because you can't interact with anything yourself.
Mm.
And it's like, okay,
Okay.
carry this bomb to this location. And in that time, you can obviously do damage, and different classes that you pick will alter the weapon that you have. Like there's a Junkrat kind of guy who shoots like bouncy explosives. You've got a guy who charges up a big shot. You've got support classes where you can heal your partners. And then also depending on what class you choose, it'll alter your small little units that you control. And they can do like a shockwave EMP or just a little damage blast. And yeah, that's it. It's very simple. It's like, I think it was just 3v3, maybe 4v4. Just a few classes, very few units. It's not like an RTS. But I thought it was really fun, and it was really satisfying to get kills. I mean, most of the classes I thought were really meaty, and I had a lot of fun, especially with the support class. You have just like a big Gauss rifle that you just like pew and shoot them. I thought that was a really fun game. It was the open beta, I think I played or something. But yeah, I'm really curious about playing the full game there. Yeah, disintegration.
Definitely exciting.
Yeah,
I
it
look
does.
forward to seeing the full review if it comes out on Game Watch.
Yeah, I might do that on my channel. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, I see.
I'm
Ditching them.
not doing reviews on their channel. I'm doing 30-minute previews. Rage, have you been playing anything? Oh, yeah.
I'm currently playing something, but
Yeah.
no, I want to talk about a different small game that
Yeah.
also just released from early access.
Oh.
It is called Starcom Nexus.
Is this the one that you've been playing? Yes, it is.
Yeah, but the one you thought was this.
I thought it was like a grand strategy.
Yeah.
Just from the screenshots, yeah.
Actually, it's not grand strategy. It's just like a top-down space ship
Exploration?
thingy.
Space thing.
Space thing.
Space exploration or space combat?
Both. Because although it seems through the like top-down menu that it would be a small world, top-down menu, sorry, a top-down perspective, it would seem like a small game where you just fly around and shoot.
So,
Hello?
yeah, hello?
I
Yeah.
know.
I think I think I'm having lags right now.
So, it doesn't seem like it's not like a bullet hell, right? You're not avoiding shots very
basically,
fast, and right?
You start off with a very small ship, like basic weapons,
Mm-hmm.
and you just fly around, and there's like to travel, like you travel between stars
Yeah.
and solar systems, and the way you travel through them is like through small wormholes.
Mm.
But you could also, and the game also encourages you to just fly from one star to another star, but it will take like literal minutes.
Mm.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, but then there's also like of course the point is it's like that's one part, and the other part is basically choose your own adventure type, where you fly to different planets and then you can scan them.
Yeah.
And if you find an anomaly, you will send down like a
little probe.
ground crew to check out what the anomaly is, and then there is basically a lot of like you have to read, and then you have to make a choice.
Oh, you
Reading?
Yeah, reading, and then you have to make a choice what you want to do.
Mm.
And sometimes you will like find resources, find points for your not development.
Upgrading your ship.
Yeah, for upgrading your ship. But you could also like lose crew members that you have to restock.
Mm.
And yeah, and at some point, like you uncover this grand story, how you came where you were, and why is that, and how this universe works together, and you find different races. Basically, you want to get home, but then you uncover more and more what actually happened, and where you are. And but also you like get more new technologies. Then at some point you just not have basic lasers, but then you also have rocket
Advanced
launchers,
lasers.
a shield. You get like a jump drive where you can just jump,
Mm.
and stuff like that. Very interesting. And a really, really big map. And my most favorite and intriguing part about the game is it has like a quest system, but it's not like a like a traditional quest system where you just look at the map. Oh, I have to go there and press the thing. Because for every planet you visit, you get like a log entry into your journal. But then, like you at some point you discover stuff where like, I have no idea what this is, but it's this and this, and maybe I can do something with it later. And then, but instead of like the quest giving you a marker, when you get a quest or when you talk to a certain person, yeah, like you remember, oh shit, that's exactly what happened. Or like I visited the planet where I saw a similar thing, and then you can just search your logs, like actually typing the keywords out to find out where that planet exactly was, get the coordinates, and fly back there.
Mm.
Because the map is really big.
I like that kind of stuff where you have to manually look into
Yeah.
the information you have.
Yeah,
And you
that's
also sometimes have to think what to do because like you have the quests and you have your goals you have to achieve, but the game doesn't take you by the hand,
Right.
which I like found really refreshing, to be honest, after playing so many modern
sounds very exciting.
Skyrims.
So many
So-
Skyrims, so many
Yeah.
releases of it.
Yeah.
Played
It
on
was
my
like
PS4, Switch, and
it was a
Xbox at the
very
same time.
interesting choice because it can turn players off because you have to actually think things.
Yeah.
But
is
I
bad.
found it very good, very nice. So I can really recommend that game if you're remotely interested in something similar.
Well, that definitely sounds like something I'll be looking at myself then. Thank you very much for showing me
Yeah.
that, Rage.
Yes.
So civil. Wow.
Alright, well, how about I find the last game I remember that's worth mentioning?
Sure.
Something that came out of early access, came into early access.
Yeah,
actually.
let's get to it, man.
Have you heard of Stone Shard?
Of course I have. No, what's Stone Shard?
No. It is it's an RPG that is like that has recently come into early access. Basically, it's like one of those old top-down RPGs, kind of, with a very deep world system, leveling system, and combat
Similar
system.
to Pillars of Eternity and similar.
Yes, it has actually a Stone Shard prologue on Steam, a free demo version of it, where you play the prologue of it before your character becomes a thing. You play as your contract giver.
That's kind of interesting.
Is it real time though, or is it turn-based?
It's turn-based.
It's
And as you said, like not holding hands. I remember when I played Stone Shard a bit. There's like I got a quest to kill some dudes in a farmstead, and you actually had to open a map, and it didn't show you are here, but instead you had to walk to the edge of an area to go to the next area, and then see, alright, I'm here now.
Right. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That it looks
And has,
pretty
like-
fun.
Has very interesting mechanics. Has like a sanity system as well, which is basically like how your moral is. If you like, you can be high moral and get bonuses, but you can also be low moral and then get issues with fighting, especially if you're injured. And yeah, it has a lot of different mechanics that work together to hopefully at some point make a very amazing game. Right now it's still a bit rough around the edges, but will definitely get better.
I was wondering why it's mostly positive.
Yes, one thing that is controversial at the moment is you can only save in inns, and that costs money. So basically, it's a very rough game where you can die quickly, but you can also only save in these specific spots for money. They reduced the price for it already, which is nice, but
Yeah.
it's one
I
of
remember
those-
hearing a common complaint in Kingdom Come that you had to
Yeah.
prepare a big thing to save, which actually is free right now on the Epic Store, and I grabbed that. I'm excited. Yeah.
You should play it.
Yeah,
Cedric,
I will
come to
after the other
CS.
100 games that I have in my
Yeah.
backlog. Yeah, still didn't finish Breath of the Wild. Fucking, I started Tomb Raider. What a mistake.
Yeah. And if you look at, I think you're looking at the top negative review right now, even that is extremely positive and showing like how
Yeah.
the developer is like taking notes to the feedback and changing things, because there's already 2 edits about things getting better.
Yeah, I mean that's good. That's what early access is for. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually played the. I played an early access game which I felt kind of was harmed for being in early access for me personally. I played Not for Broadcast.
I remember.
Um,
You
It's
posted
been
about that.
yeah, it's been advertised as a Papers-like It doesn't play like Papers, Please. I mean, but just the universe is similar. So it's kind of like this.
This dystopian future.
Overly
totalitarian.
aggressive. Yeah, exactly. Overly aggressive government. You're actually starting to witness the beginnings of it in this game. And you run a broadcasting station, like an actual TV, and you do live switching, you do live censoring, and the game currently only has 3 of the levels that are, because it's released in early access, and like there's a few choices in between days. It's like, this guy comes to you, it's your wife or your partner's.
This guy is your wife.
Your partner's sibling comes to you, and they're like, hey, I need to leave the country. Please give me your passport. We look similar, right? And then you have to make the choice, like, do I give them my passport? That's definitely against the law, and you have to make choices between your family or obeying the law, and that's kind of the Papers, Pleasey element of it. And then during actual gameplay, you have to actually live switch properly, show who's talking, try and make it look interesting, catch swear words. And you can even choose what ads to play during ad breaks, and you can affect what company does well because of depending on what tape you play, for example. Unfortunately, as I said I did a full video review if anybody wants to check it out on my channel. It's just like 2-3 minutes. But yeah, what I said was currently in early access, you don't really see those choices come into play. It's too early in the game. Like the early access ends very quickly. So you make all the choices, but then you don't really see the outcomes. And I think the game it's fantastic. Like there isn't really anything I can criticize other than that it's too short. So I just wish they didn't wait. Like I wish they waited and released the full thing. But I guess they wanted some extra money to help fund, or maybe they wanted some feedback. I don't know. But yeah, I played it. I'm really anticipating the full release. I loved it. Not for broadcast. Good game. Yeah, I've been looking for some Papers, Please to something to like fill that void.
Yeah, fill that void of a horrible future where everything is gray and suicide bombers are there and everything.
Yep, and you ruin other people's lives to try and protect your own family. I got that a little bit with Beholder as well. That was a good game. I talked about it. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Ruin other people's life. You cannot just play direct in Darwin Project.
Yeah. Let me try to think of how to segue that. Speaking of ruining lives, we played Tools Up. I don't think we talked about it in the last episode, right?
About what?
I love that game. Tools Up, it's called. The quick explanation would be Overcooked with home renovation. I did a video. We put it up. Funny moments. I thought it was really funny. I love this game. It's so hilarious. And you ruin people's lives because you might paint the wall the wrong color. You might bash their door down and forget to put it back on the hinges before you leave. But it really is. It's so chaotic, like Overcooked. But it's completely different. I mean, the gameplay is slightly chaotic and similar, but for the most part, it's different. Just you need to work together, but you need to be clear with your call-outs, quotation marks. Make it very clear what you need. You look at the blueprint.
Paint the wall magenta.
Yeah, or like you glue. You have to put the glue on, but then the other person has to put the wallpaper quick before the glue dries. And I love it. It's so much fun. I'm looking forward to finishing it at some point. But I really love that game.
We should get together and play it again.
Yeah, I really love that. Anybody else got another thing?
Well, there is an obvious one.
What,
No?
Iceborne? Monster Hunter
Yes.
World Iceborne expansion?
What? You play Iceborne Rage? That's a surprise.
Yeah, Monster Hunter World Iceborne by Capcom. It's
Really?
amazing.
It's
But I have a very high opinion of the expansion, so maybe Gena, you talk about it.
I have a very high opinion as well.
I mean, I can talk about
Well,
it.
I remember
and
you
don't know
saying
anything
you don't
about
think
it.
it's worth the 40 euros.
All I was saying was no. I was saying I'm waiting to see if it's worth the 40 euros. And now that we've done like the vast bulk of it, I think it
And
is.
we are still not over.
And we're still not even done. It's worth the
Yeah.
40 euros only if you completed the base game and you want more, because it is basically just more of that. Like, I don't think I
Well,
love
yeah.
I love some of the changes. I mean, the new gadget you get where you can claw adds so much versatility to the combat, and all these. Do base game players get the new moves for all the weapons as well?
I'm not sure to be honest. I
Well,
don't think so.
regardless, they put a lot of work. It basically is a sequel, but I think it's good that they didn't sell it as its own game because a lot of the monsters are kind of like, you know, redos of old ones. They're like slight variations. I love it. I'm really happy we're playing it, and it's good shit, man. Yeah, but it's more. I mean, I can't really say anything other than I adore the base game, and this is more of the base game.
Well, yeah,
It's-
basically, don't buy it if you did not like Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, but I don't see. I mean, I would
Definitely buy it if you like Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, I would never recommend.
Play more of it.
I would never recommend Call of Duty 2 to someone who didn't like Call of Duty 1 anyway. So like whatever. Yeah, it's good. It's I love it. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything more you want to say on that.
No.
I mean, yeah, we've been
mean,
having a blast.
There is a ton of content coming out for PC at least.
Yeah.
Because they are trying to catch up to consoles, which they promised they will do by like March, alright?
April, I think
Mr.
it was.
Xander, please.
Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah.
Wait, the Resident Evil event is supposedly. Can I change my handler right now to Mr. X, or is that only a DLC? Fuck, it's only a DLC, I bet. I saw it on the Steam store. Yeah, I hate the handler. She's so obnoxious. But to change her to Mr. X,
She's more obnoxious.
If you make
Iceborne.
if you make him a Mr. X, the handler becomes immensely powerful.
dude.
Just from a social
Honestly, I don't ever buy this dumb cosmetic bullshit for Monster Hunter, but I might consider Mr. X.
level. Mr. X is not cosmetic bullshit, it's a lifestyle.
I mean, I really hate seeing her face. I genuinely do. So to see Mr. X when you're doing the Steamworks or when you're cooking, jump on a palico and like look all cutesy, I might buy it. How much is it? It's like,
Yeah.
it's probably too much for what it is.
And you know, and I mean,
What? Let me check.
I mean, if
time.
Mr.
fuck,
if,
there's so
and
much.
you know, if the handler, for instance, I remember seeing a certain cutscene of a handler running in danger for no reason whatsoever. If Mr. X is like, I'm guessing he thought the monster was with stars or something like
The
that.
handler's
Yeah.
tyrant costume is €3.
€3, yeah, that's too much, but I still might do it. Yeah,
Mr.
Mr. X wouldn't run from the stars, dude. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
What-
He would think, oh yeah, the monster is a star, so obviously coming in there.
What would he run from?
Can we talk about how ridiculous the crossover in general is?
Yeah.
now?
It's
I
fucking
mean,
beautiful.
I'm glad that I love when devs aren't afraid of fucking around. Like again, it's a Japanese game, so you expect it. Like there's a serious tone, but then there's also this goofy stuff on top.
Which I like.
I love.
Because Monster Hunter is an old franchise, but it just only recently, like World was the game to bring it to the big mass, especially in the West,
Yeah.
like over here. But like, I love that Capcom gives the attention to the series that it deserves, because Monster Hunter got, like the entire series got Capcom through some tough times, like financially.
Yeah, I only
It's been-
never
it's
touched
been a
it.
very-
I would have
Yeah.
been very interested in it, but it was always on handheld stuff, so I was like,
Yeah, but it's still like sold like hotcakes, and
yeah.
was a very financially stable series. That's why they still continue it. And
Yeah.
World was an addition that makes changes that maybe some hardcore fans did not appreciate,
Mm.
but it opened up the game to the.
I think it's got a really
the-
good balance of like streamlined, but I mean, you still have to craft all sorts of stuff and take care of yourself, and there's all these ailments and
But it's less complicated than it used to be.
yeah. But I think
Because it was
that would be too much for me. I think.
like especially the tracking system with the flies. It used to be very pain in the ass.
All right. Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad. That's yeah.
And it was also technical limitations in the previous games.
Yeah.
because now with World, they're utilizing a new engine. They can actually render the entire like hub where you hunt the monster instead of just individual areas. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. What other? There was another game that did that. I mean that's a very common thing though with older generations of franchises. You like open a door. I mean even GTA I think did stuff like that where you don't have to
Yeah,
load
it
in your
actually-
store.
It actually gradually progressed.
Yeah. Another game since we're kind of talking about comebacks, Sea of Thieves. We haven't talked about that either.
Oh yeah.
I know that had a really rough launch. Have you tried it, Striking? Are you interested in it? I know me and Rage have played it.
I haven't tried yet. Something I heard in the start was that there was a concern lack of content.
Yeah, definitely. I heard that all the time. And I mean, now they're doing monthly updates. They just announced another one, Rage. We should try it out when it comes out. Don't look it up because it kind of already spoiled something for me. But I guess I'll vicariously see like you guys discovering it, and I'll be happy that way.
I haven't played any of the like Tall Tales anyway.
The Tall Tales are amazing. But yeah, basically, I mean, I don't know, Sea of Thieves pirate game. Look it up. It's good shit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yar.
I've been loving it, man. And Simi's been playing it like every day, even solo. Just props. I looked up out of curiosity how much that I know of the game now has been added and what it would have been like without, and a lot of stuff has been added. And I totally see where the complaints would have come from about the lack of content. Like there's a whole story mode.
They kept at it, and I think the Xbox Game Pass helped the game.
Yeah, definitely.
Game's health, because a lot of people stopped playing it.
Definitely. But I'm loving the game, man.
It is big fun. Yes.
When my Game Pass, yeah.
Yeah.
No, go on.
No, I just want to say, especially together with other people.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't see that as a single player game. But yeah, when my Game Pass runs out, I'm gonna have to buy it, I think. Hopefully it comes to Steam, because Halo's on Steam.
It won't, I think.
You say that, I mean, dude, Halo came to Steam. Halo. I think we have a chance of Sea of Thieves coming to Steam.
It's not about that, it's more of a technical issue, I think. Because the only really bad thing about the game store, like Windows Store, like Windows Store has many bad things, but the really thing is the apps instead of like regular executables.
Right, but I mean, Halo is available on the Xbox Store as well as Steam, and it's.
Well, they've been planning for that, but they didn't like, and that's how they developed as well from the very beginning.
You think it requires extra work to change the?
First of all, that, and second of all, I don't know if it would be a smart move to give up something that would draw people more to the Windows Game Store, because they need their exclusives still. I think.
I would agree with that if Halo wasn't on Steam, but Halo would have sold if they made exclusive.
Well, no, it's like cons and pros, and it would have been silly not to sell everywhere.
I feel like that could be applied to Sea of Thieves as well, though. I don't know.
It also may be because Microsoft changed at some like last E3 they said. Because finally they realized that Microsoft also makes Windows 10.
Yeah.
And not just Xbox.
Yeah, they said
they want their games to be on every platform, everywhere available, to maximize exposure, and they just give the players the convenience, because they don't. In the end, they don't care if you use the Windows Game Store or the Steam, because you still own a fucking Windows 10 copy, and they won. Basically. So yeah.
I still think there's a very high chance that it'll. What the fuck? This light makes my eyebrows look like I'm some sort of anime character. What the fuck? I just can't get over that. I look like some anime character. I don't know, like fucking from Tekken or something. Like the spiky corners. Fuck.
The goat man. The goat man.
Have you guys played Dead Cells?
Yes.
Yes, but I think I burned out on roguelite platformers.
Oh, really?
Because I like it got game of the year and stuff, and I played it. It was fun, like, but I just had no desire to continue. Not the game's fault. It just really.
Fair enough. It was like with me with Far Cry, I guess. Yeah, a new DLC came out. The first paid DLC after a ton of free ones, called The Bad Seed, and I just wanted to give it a quick shout out and say
apologies.
And maybe you should go back to playing Shadow Warrior Rage. Jeez.
No, it's just someone joined my game. They're called Mrs. Snufflebutt.
Oh, nice.
I find that extremely funny.
Okay. Yeah, go back to playing
Classic.
Shadow Warrior. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Bad Seed.
Bad.
It's just a few new locations, a few new enemies.
Sounds nice.
Just I mean, yeah, just more Dead Cells. I mean, nothing that exceptional, but I appreciated it. So, yeah, just mentioning that it exists if anyone's interested. I loved the original game. I beat everything, but there's still so much shit to unlock that I kind of stopped at some point because I mean I didn't want to do the same content over and over again. Another roguelike that I also played was Legend of Bumbo. I saw you playing it, Striking.
Yes, I made the mistake of playing it at launch where it was a mess.
In what way? Because I played it close to launch as well, but like 2 weeks later or
Well, let me
something.
say, when I went to the shop the first time, there was no sound.
Okay. Okay, so again, you're not saying like you're saying launch day.
Yeah,
Was the
it was
issue.
definitely launched the issue,
Okay.
and I need to play it again, but it definitely it's a game. I think it's a good game.
It's a game. I loved it. I think I can definitely see. I mean, I already stopped playing it. I didn't play it as much as I would have, like Binding of Isaac, for example. I definitely think it needs more levels, more variation. In like, Binding of Isaac, you aren't always in the basement, for example. You can go basement or sunken basement or burning basement. That was actually an issue I had with Scourgebringer, by the way, to go back to that. Like even Dead Cells, you don't always have to go through the sewers. You can go to the graveyard or whatever. You can alternate it. Yeah, Bumbo kind of suffered that, where it's like
Well,
every run
to be honest,
starts off the same. You know?
yeah, to be honest, like Binding of Isaac had forever to
Yeah,
add
yeah.
all the different
And
locations.
I mean, yes, but also
it did start
kind
off
of-
with more though.
yeah.
Yeah, but also Edmund McMillan has said already that he's planning to add free stuff to this. So I haven't even beat it yet. I just kind of stopped. I don't remember what I was doing. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I didn't really explain what the gameplay was like. It's I guess kind of like Bejeweled, but it's like this Bejeweled kind of thing. But instead of switching two things at once, you actually just move an entire row or column to kind of match stuff.
Well, no, but yeah, Puzzle Quest was a very old game on Steam. That
I heard of
specific-
that. Yeah. Oh, it did stop. Are we back? I don't know. Or with onto an enemy, you can choose the enemy that you want to prevent their next attack by one turn. Different characters have different abilities, and yeah, I mean it's a roguelike, different classes, but I thought it was really original and fun. I really liked it. But obviously, you need to be into that kind of gameplay. I thought it was good, and I look forward to playing it more as well. There you go. There you have it. Legend of
Yeah.
Bumble.
Bumble.
You should
It's
play it
coin.
more, man. Bumble. Don't have many games left. I played the new Tomb Raider. Really good. More of the same. So not more to say than that. Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. Finished my Let's Play on that finally after like a year. Good ass game. Really fun. Really happy I revisited that.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, go on.
A game that is good, Hades. If you heard of that.
Oh yeah.
Too bad it's still in early access.
Yeah.
Yes, but even for early access, it's extremely well done.
I was.
But I will hold off on that.
Fair
mean-
enough.
I mean, I really like Super games.
You'll
Yeah.
probably get more out of it. It'll be more complete with more content.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, basically Hades is about the son of Hades. It wants to go out of Hades, the Hades location, not the Hades guy, but he's the son of the Hades guy.
Okay.
He wants to get out of Hades, away from Hades,
Mm-hmm.
and so that he's getting the help of the gods in the form of boons, which is basically like the roguelike element, where it's like each run you get different booms you could choose from, and then go forth and
Alright.
try to make your way out. Lovely thing about it is there's a huge amount of dialogue and everything is voiced.
I wasn't sure because Supergiant is always like really heavily story driven stuff, and I was really surprised to see that that's a roguelite. But it did excite me because I do always enjoy the combat in their games. But yeah, so there is actual like there's still story and
lot.
voice acting. Okay.
A lot. There's like there's for instance, not without spoiling anything, but there's a certain Greek mythology character who once went to Hades to get his loved one back, but then in the last end was told not to turn around until he passed the entrance. But in the last moment he faltered and looked back, and because that the soul of his wife was lost in Hades forever.
Right.
And he's
Right, and that's okay. Cool. That's good.
Is it the same people making the music than the previous Giant games?
Well, I don't know, but I can say the music is fucking amazing, and there's some vocal music that is also fucking great.
Have you...
Darren Korb, I think was his name, right? Yeah, there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found Hades. Yeah, he's making the sim.
Yeah. You haven't played Pyre yet, though, Gunnar, right?
No, I haven't. I really want to.
You're really, really enjoyable game. What the mess?
I played a game called Warlander. Here, I'll post that. Kind of generic name, but I thought it was pretty interesting. So the game was meant to be an adventure. They're still working on it. It's not actually out yet. They didn't tell me that there was an embargo, so I'm gonna talk about it. I've actually been, even in emails, giving them feedback, which it's been. They seem like they really are trying to make the game work and take feedback, which is really cool. But it's a roguelike third-person action fighter, which you don't see often. And as you can see from the gameplay, you can actually kind of choose a direction for your attack. And they have this really cool gore system where depending on exactly where you slice the enemy, they'll actually like cut exactly there. Really satisfying. And you can see there's a big ass upgrade tree. You can throw your sword. You've got like all these kind of force powers. You can like tentacle throw someone. You've got shield bash. And I thought the combat was really cool. And yeah, roguelike, so you know, you go upgrade whatever. And interestingly enough, you can actually, after you complete a small little arena, you get this big Slay the Spire-esque map, and you can actually choose what you want to go to next. And you can see like, oh, you know, there's a healing spot here, there's an upgrade spot here, I can get a little loot, boss fight, whatever, and you try and progress through that. Yeah, I mean, there were a few issues, but that's exactly why it's gonna, like, they're trying to figure it out before they release. But I just wanted to say, like, keep an eye on it. I thought it was really fun. The combat felt really gratifying. There are definitely issues that I hope they fix, though, for the release. I see it's releasing 26th of February, so there you go.
Yeah, very close.
Yeah.
It's almost like 30 days.
Almost. If you really think about it hard.
Yeah.
Then
if you could put a measurement on time.
If only we could do such a thing.
Maybe we'll be able to do so after BC Plus.
Well, anyone else got any other games? Otherwise, I have like 2-3 more things to quickly talk about.
We can talk about the upcoming stuff. Wallet is crying.
Oh yeah, one game that I actually played is Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
I heard good things about it.
It is.
So
it's
Tell me more good things about it.
Yeah.
Basically a retelling of the story of the whole Dragon Ball Z saga. Well done though, and with a lovely combat system. With like the whole, I will punch you and then I will throw energy beams after you. I also will teleport behind you, and then also I will, you know, teleport behind you again because
10,000 punches?
Kind of like that.
So
more like Kamehameha and all, like, you know.
Here's a question for you. Have you watched the show?
Yes, but mostly most recently I've watched the abridged show, and I'm so sad that it is now cancelled.
But you did watch the entire original show?
Oh boy.
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't remember all of it.
That's fine. What I wanted to ask was, as someone who's never watched this show, would this be a good way to experience the story for the first time? Or
now that is a question. I think yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think so. It's definitely like coherent. There's
well,
like
considering that the original Dragon Ball Z is not good a way to experience this.
Yeah.
Probably yes.
Well, what do you mean? A lot of people love the show and say it's great.
Well, yeah, but the fights went on because like the manga had to stay in front of the anime.
I know that there was a lot of filler. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
No, not just filler. It's
I know.
An episode where the two of them will stare at each other and scream at each other.
But see, if that's part of, if that's still enjoyable,
that's what happened.
if that's still enjoyable, I can't even fathom that. So
It is enjoyable on a like episode once a week basis, or like episode once a day. But if you try to binge it, it's really shit.
you're right.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that can also be said, which is a bit awkward, is after all, Dragon Ball Z is a continuation. So there's a lot of characters that are kind of like there when you start with, which you have to get used to. Like they
Right.
don't
This
say,
is
okay,
Dragon
this
Ball
is
Z, not Dragon Ball, right?
yes, Dragon Ball is
Uh-huh.
about small Goku.
Yeah. Okay.
This is about thick Goku. I mean,
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
Goku.
Big Goku.
He's not
Right.
thick.
No, he's
just
not.
very trained.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. So there is still a gap there. This isn't all of Dragon Ball in one game.
Well, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it definitely is very interesting. I think it's if you aren't that like as long as you aren't like, oh no, not Dragon Ball, like then you're not gonna enjoy it. But if you're like, oh, I haven't played but I haven't seen much about Dragon Ball, but it looks nice, then it could be something for you.
Okay.
And it's a good way then to experience the story.
Yeah. I was just wondering, because I mean, maybe the original show has problems, but maybe this still is missing some things that capture the magic of the show. I don't know. I'm trying to gather info on that because I would be a lot more inclined to play a game like this than watch the show.
People who actually play, like many people who play this are actual fans of the original,
Yeah.
and then like mostly the response is positive, so they had to have done something good.
Yeah. I believe that the game is good. I'm just wondering for a first time person coming to the story, I wonder what opinions are.
It wouldn't be bad, I assume. To be honest.
Yeah.
Yes, and I can tell you it wouldn't be bad.
Yeah. That's cool.
Alright.
That's cool. Did you ever play any other Dragon Ball games that you like? One that I love. Did you ever play Fighter Z?
Yes.
That looks amazing. I haven't tried
It's
that yet.
fucking great.
It
It's
looks
just a
really
shame that
good.
I'm bad at fighting games. But yeah.
That looks really good. I used to play one on Xbox 360 called Burst Limit that I feel like I'm the only one who's ever played that one. Fucking loved that.
Yeah, I think the one I had was Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi Budokai 3.
A lot of
something
people
like that.
played that one. Those
Yeah.
Budokai games, yeah.
It was weird, and I didn't understand what was going on, but it was punchy.
Yeah, I had one on PS1 as well, which was the same. I was like, I don't know, this guy's got black spiky hair. I enjoy this.
Yeah, I like Mr. Satan giving presents as a special ability.
Sure.
He did.
It's Satan, you said?
Yes, Satan.
Who the fuck is Satan in Dragon Ball?
The world
Mr.
champion master, Mr. Satan.
Oh, is that? Oh, okay. The perv
Yeah.
guy, the bald perv guy.
No, that's Roshi.
Oh no.
Oh.
Mr. Satan is the world tournament like master. He
Strong,
won the-
world's strongest man.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically he
But
won the
actually not.
yeah, basically he won the tournament when all of the actual fighters were dead at some point. So he is like, to a normal person he's extremely strong, but he is no of the fighters. And then like he makes it like, for him it's like one big wrestling thing. So he's like, oh, I will take you down, but he also really thinks he's tough shit. So
All right.
it's like he's a goof character.
All right. Speaking of anime, I don't know how are you guys fans of Sonic?
Yes, I'm considering
I mean,
going
yes.
to the movie.
But anime?
Well, yeah, Sonic is anime, bro.
Hold up.
Well, he's Japanese.
I mean,
I'm
obvi-
gonna need more rings for that
it
shit.
depends on what the definition. I'm saying there are elements of anime in Sonic. The show
but
is
Sonic-
anime,
no,
and then
But Sonic
he's
is made by Western. I get what you're saying, but no.
no originally no.
Kind of, yeah, kind of.
It's Japanese.
guess. Yeah, I guess it's just because of the story being so cringy. I always thought it was Western.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna tell me Japanese games don't have cringy stories? Like
Yeah, but
it's so-
but
Have you
like,
not
it's,
seen Devil May Cry? I was the
Okay,
one to
I
fill
mean-
your dark soul with light.
I mean, even Monster Hunter World has it.
Yeah, dude, come on. No, I'm not saying it's fucking. I mean, dude, look at Shadow. You're gonna tell me Shadow exists and you're not gonna say
No,
it's
no,
anime?
Shadow-
No,
super edgy.
no, what I'm saying is like because of as a Shadow is like the Western brand of edgy. I thought more like he's like
No.
a cool kid
He
with
was
guns. He's the cool kid with guns.
The
Yeah,
maybe
he's
the
okay
guns
with
is
guns.
westerny, but like
I just want to go and see that movie to find out if Jim Carrey can actually save it or not.
I think it won't be that bad, honestly, especially after the redesign.
Especially with Jim Carrey, yes, I agree. But...
Yeah, I feel like if you're a fan of Sonic, it could be good, and it seems like it's going to be a humorous movie. So if you just generally don't go, Sonic, no! You might.
Well, yeah, to be honest, also, like, people made fun of it, that they decided to redesign Sonic after all of that criticism. But I was very surprised by it, that they actually pulled it off.
Yeah.
Instead of, like...
It's a really good. It's so much better.
Yeah,
But
he looks
definitely great.
I mean,
not as good as he could have, but better than he was.
I'm gonna be honest though, I don't really like the way the movie seems. Like the comedy doesn't seem like Sonic, and Eggman doesn't.
Jim Carrey,
yeah, it's a Jim Carrey character. It's not It's not Eggman. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me personally, and I like Jim Carrey movies. At least as a kid, I haven't watched any in years. But yeah, I don't know. It can seem like kind of generic comedy Hollywood. At least from the trailer.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
they have to make it more Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because in the end, they want to appeal to the
And
masses.
I can enjoy Hollywood movies, but it just seemed too generic to me. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong because I like Sonic.
See.
But yeah, I was actually I was trying to segue to I started playing Sonic Lost World, which I don't know if you guys have seen. It's the Sonic game with fucking weird non-Sonic creatures, and the game. It's like trying to replicate Mario Galaxy. It's so strange.
Well, all I have to say to that is Sonic was
yeah, sure.
about non-Sonic characters.
There's tons of Sonic games that do this weird shit. But yeah, the game is like, yeah, you can see here from the gameplay. You're a lot of the times on like cylindrical levels, and it just breaks the speed flow. And a lot of the times, it's really perplexing level design in an unfun way. Like you keep having to stop and do really boring shit, and then a lot of the times it's linear but in a very uninteresting way, and I don't know. But what I will say was I was really bored and I almost stopped in the first few levels, and then the levels started getting so much better. I started enjoying it more.
Which game was it again?
Lost World.
Oh yeah. I feel like the one of the only Sonic games that I really played for a long time was Sonic Generations. That was just good.
Generations is I fucking love that game. I love that game. But yeah, Sonic Lost World is okay, but I was gonna say the cutscenes are so funny. I think I don't know, like it's so contrasty to me for like the movie. I don't know, the movie was very, at least the trailer. I thought the jokes were very lame, but there's something very quippy about the cutscenes in this, and I don't know, I just really like them.
Talk about funny cutscenes. Well, rather one show that's entire cutscene. I heard a lot of good things about the Sonic Boom TV series.
There's a new
Sonic?
Sonic Mania. Oh.
Sonic Boom, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Series.
Yeah, too bad
The game was horrible, but from what I've seen, the TV series was actually really well done. Like with a lot of self-aware humor.
Really?
I hated that Knuckles became a buff but really stupid character.
Knuckles.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they did obviously go to the extremes, but there's also like I remember seeing one thing about. Hold on, let me see if I can actually find that. Basically, it was Shadow talking to Sonic. It took you a while. You're fast like a cheetah. Well, I thought cheetahs are fast. Maybe for you.
Nice. Yeah, I know that Sonic Mania had like a small show as well, where it's 2D animated, and yeah, I was curious to see that.
I remember Sonic Underground. Really fucking weird.
Is that the one with where they were like a band members?
Yes.
And there's that was weird. I watched that as a kid. A little bit.
Same.
Yeah, I also played Team Sonic Racing. It was the new Sonic Racing game with cars and shit. And I fucking loved it.
My question to you then.
To make it fair.
Why would Sonic drive a car?
To make it fair for his competitors. The story is fucking horse shit though. Like, I mean, there is a story mode, by the way, yeah. And it's just this new guy shows up, and every fucking dialogue is like, there's something suspicious about this guy. And the whole game they're like doing his shenanigans. They're racing in his competition. They're like, I don't know if I trust this guy.
Sounds like us playing Deceit.
Yeah. Yeah. But the game is awesome. I love it. It's really interesting for a racing game. The main game mode is it's team racing. So you actually each have your own team of 3 people. And like, let's say you grab an item and you don't want it, you can actually pass it to your teammate who's like in last place. It'll transform into something slightly stronger and they can use it. Or like you can also, if you draft, is the word draft? Like you follow your teammate from behind, you'll actually get like a speed boost as you follow them. If your teammate has just been hit by a rocket and they're like spinning out, you can drive by next to them to like straighten them out and give them a huge speed boost. So there's actually, nice. Yeah, it's really, really, really interesting for a racing game. I thought like they really brought some cool stuff. And then there's also normal racing modes in case you're not into that. But it's so unfortunate, it's dead. Like there's no one playing online. We found I think 2 people or something.
No.
And you can customize your cars and stuff. I love it. It was really, really fun. But yeah, unfortunately, no one to play. And the last Sonic bit of my life started a Sonic Heroes Let's Play recently. A childhood game of mine and Simi's that we absolutely adored as kids. And we're having fun playing that. So if you want to check that out, go ahead. The game hates me apparently because it keeps absolutely bullshitting me into deaths. But I think it's really hilarious. But yeah, some fucking incredible stuff that just keeps happening. But yeah, Sonic Heroes, that's been fun.
Oh yeah, I actually remember playing that as a child. I don't know how far you've gotten, but have you ever gotten to the mansion with Sonic?
We just did that, yeah.
Dude, fuck that place.
Oh,
I remember.
I love it. It's such a good level.
No. It's great, but I remember one specific scene where like you had to like go through a parkour with every single one of them. I believe like one go with the Sonic through one with Tails.
We just did that yesterday, dude. We just recorded that.
I was so salty as a child. Fuck that.
We just recorded that.
I remember falling down with Sonic all the time and having to redo the whole thing.
I'm trying to remember now. I think the first one that we did with Sonic, and I think it killed me once as well, and I remembered that there was something like the timing between the jumps or something was fucked. Yeah. What did you play it on?
I mean the difficulty were depending on the
like GameCube, PS2, PC.
PS2.
Yeah, that's what I played too.
I still remember Daddy R. Eggman's robots from the first level. I will never forget that voice line.
That's a running joke in our Let's Play where it's always like, who are those robots? Yeah, it's so funny. Dude, if you go watch any of the videos, Tails is like the worst voice actor. It's a literal 7-year-old or 8-year-old, and he's just like...
doesn't it make it perfect?
It's so bad, man. It's so bad. But it's really funny.
To be fair, it would also be weird if it was like an old guy with like considering Tails is supposed to be a child.
Well, yeah, but
yes, Sonic.
Tails,
there they are.
I'm not saying I want an old man. Tails in current games sounds good. It's usually a woman, I think, voicing him, and just higher pitched. It doesn't need to be a literal kid. Like it sounds like, wait, he's got a whisper, he's bad voice. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah.
But it makes for a really funny Let's Play, I think. Yeah. I've got 2 more games, but if anyone wants to jump in and say something, if you got any games you've been playing, or...
something
you've been playing?
Yeah, something. I don't know. You want to talk about something, or if not, we'll just wrap it up.
Well, are you looking forward to Doom Eternal?
Yeah, boy. Definitely. I hope it's...
When actually is
March, I think.
2 coming out?
March. Speaking of March, Half-Life Alyx is coming in March, but they haven't given a date yet, and that's next month.
They did the same thing with Iceborne before.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they announced the date like it's 1 month away, dude. It could be end of March, it could be beginning of March. I don't know.
I mean, it's Valve, so it will probably be July.
What else is
July is the end of March for them.
I mean, if you've got nothing, Rage, we can wrap it up. I've got
no, I have like the whole E3 stuff.
E3?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Wait, you mean last year E3?
No, this year, like 2020.
Isn't that in like July?
Yeah, but there's news about it.
Is there? I mean, I feel like we can save that for when we get to E3, right?
No, because it's happening now. That's why it's news right now.
Okay, what? If you got something,
Well,
yeah.
first of all, the thing is that like we heard that E3 is losing more and more relevancy,
Losing more what?
like relevancy during the years,
I don't know.
and now many people are like many companies are
Companies.
putting out.
Yeah, like Sony is
And
skipping it
people.
again, I think.
Like Jeff Healy
Uh,
said that he will, after 25 years of E3, not participate this year.
Really?
well, yeah, I do have to
Yeah.
say my favorite part about E3 is probably the Devolver Digital conferences.
I never watched those, but
They are
They
beautiful.
are quite fun.
I've heard,
and
yeah.
it's like on one part it's good that E3 is like losing because E3 had a very mixed history,
Right.
and only recently became more about like the players and more respectful towards them,
Yeah.
and less about babes and managers that want to
But
have
dude,
sex
I
with them.
miss those days, man. Like that was producing cringe all the time, and fuck, like I really
Yeah,
I loved that.
and so it shifts toward new expos and new, which is good. Like to be honest, I really enjoy what Jeff Healy does with the Game Awards,
Yeah.
and that he actually like you see that for him it is a passion project.
Yeah, it does
Uh,
seem that way, yeah.
Sure, there was criticism about the advertisement and such, but it is still about money, and to produce a big show like that, you have to have money. So yeah, and I'm happy that that gets more relevancy with like also announcements and releases. And yeah, the after all the stuff that happened with E3 and the controversy, maybe there will another event will pop up where people can expect to see big companies and big publishers to be cringy, but also to announce new stuff.
Everyone's aware of it now, so it's stopping. Yeah. Like they're getting, because it used to be like, you know, the CEO of Xbox or something, like talking. He's like,
But
hey,
they're still doing it. But
yeah, I
the
know,
funny
but
thing,
it used to be like, hey,
the-
fellow kids, and groundbreaking this, groundbreaking that. But now it's been memed so hard that they're aware of it all.
yeah,
So-
but that's also a good thing because now the CEOs are embracing their actual role, and some of them are also changing their attitude towards their work and their role as
I agree that
a
it's
CEO
good.
of a
Yeah,
gaming company.
it's good overall for
they-
sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just saying for
and
me to,
most
I can't laugh at
famous,
it.
of course, was the previous CEO of Nintendo.
Reggie.
Yeah, Reginald Fils-Aimé.
Yeah.
And he was like, he's like, Nintendo fans love him.
Yeah,
even
yeah.
now. And yeah, like, all in all, with all the bullshit that is happening in the industry and around it, and it is a good thing to see that at least somewhat we can have fun about it.
I think, yeah, I think overall, bigger companies are learning from past mistakes.
In the end, it is
in general.
still PR. And
Yeah.
you can view it with a cynical way.
Yeah, sure.
See that they are not genuine and they still only care about money. But in the end of the day, we can have fun with it. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's Need for Speed.
Yeah. What I wanted to ask: did any of you notice that it actually came out last year?
Need for Speed?
The new Need for Speed, yeah.
I mean, I would have expected it to come out, yeah. What?
I just never noticed, and today in the news I read because like the development studio that used to make Need for Speed for the last few years will do something else. But like it came out last year. I was like, what?
I mean,
I guess there was no need.
Completely went by me without anything. It was
Yeah, that
very
just happens sometimes.
The
It's
people-
like the new movie Bird of Prey apparently also came out, and I never even heard about that.
I'm
though
sure
normally
the
interested to
people
see
that
movies.
buy every Need for Speed have found out that it came out and bought it. You know, I don't think.
Maybe.
I don't think.
I used to enjoy Need for Speed.
I
but
loved
then it
Most
became
Wanted, yeah.
shitty.
I liked Most Wanted a lot.
Which one?
Most Wanted.
There are two of those.
Oh, were they the first one then? And Underground. Was that a? Was
Underground 2, yeah.
That? Yeah, I played that
Underground
one.
2 was amazing.
Those are the two I played, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is getting long, so let's just I mean, unless you want, I don't want to cut you off. Did you have more to say?
No, I'm done,
Okay,
I'm done.
I'll just quickly say I don't know if you guys have played 2 Point Hospital, or heard of it or seen it.
I've heard of it.
Heard and seen, not played it.
It's really scratching my prison architect itch. I fucking love it. It's a hospital tycoon game. You run a hospital, but to me, I would never play that. I don't like medical shit. But this game is so cartoony and funny. Like they look like Wallace and Gromit style. I forgot what that studio is called. And it's all British humor, and all the diseases are so dumb. Like one disease is monobrow. Just people that come in and they want to have their monobrow extracted. And you have to like assign a nurse to them to carefully extract it over a long period of time. And you can find monobrows crawling around your hospital, and you have to snipe them so they don't like.
Fuck.
Yeah, or like people will come in and with lightheadedness. That's the disease, right? Sounds very real, except they show up with an actual light bulb for a head, and you have to assign them to a GP. They get diagnosed, and then they go remove the light bulb by unscrewing it and then pop a new head on instead. Or like stuff like that. And just all the diseases are so funny, and they're like have plays on words, or they're just puns. So striking, you'd probably like it. But yeah, it's a really, really fun game. One complaint that Guff, when I was talking to him about it, said, and I can see it, is that there isn't immediately like a super free roam mode. Well, not free roam, but like sandbox mode, where it's like plop down here, giant sandbox, huge like land that you can just build your hospital and expand it infinitely on. I can see that, but if you progress like 2-3 levels in, you get pretty good plots of land anyway, and you can do that. I don't know. I'm really loving it so far. It's a mission system, but yeah. Yeah, I really like that game. I mean, I love that game, and the music is so catchy and cute and funny, and I love it. The last game I wanted to just mention quick. We started with VR. Let's wrap up with VR. I played Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners.
I knew you would say that.
Dude, it's worth mentioning.
Yeah, I understand. I saw
Is it
gameplay.
good or
of
is it bad?
I love it. So
good.
so I did a video as well if anybody wants to check it out. And Sinners, MrWoodenSheep. I'm trying to find my gameplay. There it is. So it's a actual AAA title funded by Skybound Interactive, and I love it. It's really one of the most immersive games I've played so far, probably the most immersive game. It's obviously, set in Walking Dead universe, so there's zombies, but there's obviously humans that you have to deal with. But the VR mechanics and immersion are really off the chart for me. I mean, you have like full hand presence, different things that you pick up have weight. So if you pick up a shotgun, other games have dabbled in this as well. But this one does it really well, where like a shotgun will actually kind of drift slightly past where your actual hands are to give that feeling of weight. It's hard to explain without really experiencing it yourself. And even I love that you like, if there's a locked door or a closed door, after turning the handle once, you can actually let go of the door and like grab your shotgun and push it with the barrel to open the door, or like push it with your elbow so you have your knife ready to stab a zombie. And even stabbing feels so good. You actually like have to push deep into their brain, and you have to like grab their head with your other hand and pull them off the knife. And there's a little bit of crafting, not too much because I'm not a fan of crafting, but I think the game does it really well. And it's just it's so fun, man. And like you do, since it is Walking Dead, you actually have to interact with people, and they're like give you a choice. Hey, my brother's been captured by this other faction, go help them. I'm like, all right, let's go to this faction and save the brother. And then when I arrive there, they're like, hey, this brother got a little girl killed, and they're like, you better fucking kill him right now or else we'll kill both of you. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, I guess I'm gonna kill him. And then the brother starts begging for his life, and he says, they made me do it. Someone else would have done it anyway. And I'm like, fuck. And the other guy's screaming at you like, what are you waiting for? Shoot him. And I actually ended up feeling bad for the guy. I saw the logic in his situation, and I actually had to like get in a gunfight with like 3 people. But I mean that, and I was actually a little bit shaky after that fight. It really, I don't know, the immersion really got to me in this game. It feels very real, and it's probably the most polished VR game I've played so far.
Great. One thing I heard though is that the AI isn't that great for the humans.
Yeah, it's not the best for sure. Like in a gunfight, you can kind of like maybe they're 2 meters away and you like slowly aim your gun and they won't like try to dodge and stuff. Yeah, in gunfights I would agree there. In stealth, they kind of like will see you and you have a few seconds to get away and they'll kind of forget that you were there. But I personally appreciate it because it would just be a bit too frustrating otherwise. And even like you might get in a gunfight in a compound with some enemies and like an actual loud, you know, you're using revolvers and stuff and the other guys on the other side of the compound won't come charging to you. It doesn't make any sense, but I actually appreciate it because then stealth would just never happen. And I mean, I guess it does make sense in a way. There's always gunshots in the world. They're shooting zombies and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's like the only complaint. There was an awful issue at the beginning of the game where you couldn't crouch in real life to crouch in game. Very stupid, but they fixed it since. But yeah, I don't know, man. I really, it's such an impressive game, and it really makes me hopeful for more AAA games like this. Like, Alex, bro, I'm so excited. Yeah.
Well, let's hope everything works out. I might actually get a VR as well if it's good enough.
For Alex, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, and I've got a ton of games to recommend. I mean, there's a humble bundle now with some amazing VR games to get you started if you're planning on that. Like $12, you get Gorn, you get Budget Cuts, you get Moss, you get loads of good stuff.
Sword and Sorcery would be fun.
Blade and Sorcery.
Yes.
Yeah, probably the other game with the most visceral combat alongside Walking Dead. That's good shit. I also did a video on that if anybody wants to check it out. Whew, that was a long sentence.
Ooh. Yeah.
All right.
Well, definitely very interesting to see. And I won't get Alex in advance. I will get Alex A Vance.
Alex
No,
Vance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
When they get good.
Yeah,
We'll see. But I have high hope in Valve because Valve is Valve,
Me
and if
too.
they fuck up, then I'd be sad.
Me too. That's exactly my thought. I think they're gonna do well, but if they don't, I'm gonna be sad. That's it. That's the only way to put it.
Yeah, I'm gonna think they do well because otherwise I'd be sad, and I don't want to be sad.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I'll
They're
let you
gonna
know.
make it.
I'll let you know firsthand. And yeah, we'll see. All right. If you guys have nothing else to say, I'll give you 2 seconds to answer. Then I think we can end it here. After I start playing the outro music, which I did not prepare beforehand. There it is.
Good job.
Thank you for watching, everybody. That was fun. That was long. We haven't done this in a while. I missed you.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. If you don't have a Valentine, email Rage.
Oh, no.
He'll get you hooked up.
No.
And oh, okay. Email Striking.
Alright.
He will be your Valentine. Striking, you'll do that, right?
I can give you a Steam trading card. Sheep can explain how they work.
No one's gonna get that joke. Just.
It's not a joke. Add him, and he will explain that to you.
I don't want to be added and explain how Steam trading cards work like I keep getting asked by people. Alright. Alright, thank you for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, good riddance. Farewell.
Arrivederci.
How
Arrivederci.
do trading cards work?
So basically when you